Hello, Falcon Paladin. Happy podcast day.
Hello, Somicron. Happy podcast day to you as well.
Thank you.
What's up, Aki and chat? How's it going?
Aw, thank you for the resubscription.
Indeed, indeed. What are we at? 51 months? Nice.
51 months.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's not bad.
It's basically, I think it's reached the point where it's just like, that's a lot. Like, it could be
That's
50 or it could be like 800. And I'm like, that's a lot.
I think 800 months should be suspiciously large.
Yeah. I'm just saying, my brain, which is not good at math or numbers, would categorize it as a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could be making $800 a week. You could be making $50 a week. I would not say both of those are a lot of money per week.
No, but I think months subscribed to a Twitch channel specifically is just, that's a long time. I don't know what it is. It's a long time.
It is a long time. Are you subscribed to any other Twitch channels? So, by the way, you don't watch a lot of live Twitch stuff.
Yeah, I'm sub to Flo,
Flo, okay.
Laurencio, and Pig,
And Pig, okay.
mostly for his replays.
Fair.
And I was sub to Wardy, and then he stopped giving us replays, so I stopped subbing to Wardy. Sorry, Wardy, if you're watching. You're not, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah, his Discord channel is very funny. Because Harstom's in there being like, hey man, he promises replays. And I'm like, whoa, Harstom. Just like ragging on Wardy. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. I hope he's okay. But regardless, go ahead.
I was just thinking about it, like, what's my longest held subscription? And you are a close third.
Nice.
With
I'll take it.
78 months, which I feel like is a lot.
78's your longest one?
No, that's you in third.
I thought I was at 51.
No. I'm subscribed to you for
To me. You meant your subs that you are subbing to, not subbing to you.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
According to this, I've been subscribed to myself for 51 months, which is the longest it could be. So you're at the max, and as long as you don't cancel, you always will be.
Number one and two are definitely Pig. And why am I blanking on his name? Doom guy. Maynard. There we go.
Maynard, yeah.
Good heavens, yeah.
So
I don't know what happened there. I got there.
My number 2 is Maynard at 82 months.
Okay.
My number 1 is Jesse Cox at 92 months.
Jesse Cox, right?
And that's
cow.
That's a bit cheating because it's a lifetime subscription. I only paid $4.99 once.
When was that a thing Twitch was doing? That's crazy.
92 months ago. Which is almost 10 years.
Fair. Lucky's doing math for us. Yeah. 66 years for 800 months. That's a lot of months. Yeah.
It's a lot of months.
Anywho, good gravy. Yeah, long time.
No, I'm distracted by his phone.
I am distracted. Sorry.
It's the tax man being like, you've only got 2.5 months.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I'm chatting with my grandma about bringing the kids down to see her. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
She responded, but she hasn't yet. So.
No.
That's all.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Right. So yeah. So if you haven't gathered by now, I guess. And we haven't actually. Have we referenced this concept at all? Whatever. Gonna be streaming StarCraft 6 times a week, starting earlier today. That was the first day of my unemployment play. Got a ton of donations today. If I average that for every day, then like I can quit all of my jobs forever. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You're not going to make.
See.
You're not going to make $1,800 a week streaming.
Right. No. That'd be great, but no, not happening.
No.
Although I did order a green screen, and maybe my professionalism will bring in bigger donations. We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Since you're now attempting to do this full time, at least while looking for other full time employment, it's a good time to go ahead and mention the merch store. It recently
it's updated. It's fancy. Yeah.
Yep. I spent the entirety of this morning's stream doing work on it that I had been putting off for far too long.
Nice. Yeah, somebody was like, can we get a dark mode on the store? And Somicron's like, on it.
And then I realized Shopify doesn't have a native dark mode built in, and
Hmm.
there's a bunch of third-party apps you could pay $5.99 a month for to install it. Instead, I just made it like a permanent dimmed mode. I just changed some of the colors. Uh,
Yeah, it helps a lot.
I feel like that was a good choice.
Yep, yep.
But there are new shirts available, new products.
Yeah, and buttons, bovine slime noticed.
Yes, there's some buttons. I recommend the new Falcon Paladin pullover hoodie if it's getting chilly where you are. That's available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then actually something I kind of more or less just made for myself, which is these are going to be limited edition, but they're tie-dyed t-shirts. They
I
look kind
did
of cool.
see one of those when I was dinking around earlier.
You
Yeah.
did, yeah. They have the red Falcon Paladin logo embroidered on them. And
Ooh.
I'm going to limit the sales on those. So get them quick.
Okay.
That's my advice.
You have cats in the background. That's
I
new.
I
Hello, cats.
do. They
They were messing with your Warhammer stuff.
they are. They were, technically that's my brother's desk, but
Uh-huh.
that's my Titan model just there. That's the
Yeah.
top half
I
of
don't.
it that's
Do you
waiting for a pet.
want the cats over there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, great.
They're
Sounds good.
playing with each other by the looks of it, not it. So
For now, but yeah.
yeah,
Good enough, good enough.
fine.
What's up, Killer Wolves? That's right. Cat Wars. Playing with each other, also known as murdering each other.
It's true.
There is a fine line between those two things when cats are involved.
Yes. Ugh.
My cats do that too. They'll be like playing nice, and then one of them's like, neck bite. Arr. I'm like, oh, okay. That that escalated quickly.
That looked
But
hard.
I mean, they're soft enough with each other, though. I mean, they've been playing with each other since they were babies, so like they know when something hurts, when something's just
Right.
playing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Cool. Well, yeah. What else is going on? Oh, so I went to a football's game on Saturday. Probably the only one I'm gonna go to this year. Went with my brother.
How come? How come the only one?
Oh, I didn't feel like the team was gonna be very good this year.
Oh,
And
okay.
then they are undefeated. So that flipped real fast.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a day game, which is weird because for the past like 5 years, a lot of the games are at night. So day games and an outdoor exposed stadium is like the sun is on you. So yeah, picked up a little bit of sun. Did put on sunscreen, but overall was okay with that. But it was nice. It was kind of a close game at the half, and then BYU broke the game open and ended up winning 41-19, which was great. And yeah, so that's a lot of fun. People are like, "This team's undefeated. They'll probably make the college football playoff." And I'm like, "That is ambitious. I don't know if I see that happening, but they keep winning, so guess we'll find out."
Fair enough.
So that's my sports ball corner of the day.
Remember when you used to have Sports Ball Minute in every episode?
Yeah,
I miss those days. Then you stopped watching sports. I don't know what happened.
no, definitely not true. My sports ball minute .5 is that Utah got a hockey team, and they just stole the team from Phoenix.
Oh, really?
And the
Did,
team is garbage. And they came to Utah and immediately won 4 straight games in a row. And everyone was like, "What the crap?"
well, I mean, from what I've got a friend who lives in Phoenix, like in
Uh huh.
Tempe, right? And she's been like, yeah, it's been like 110 every day for like the last 4 months. I don't think you can play hockey in those conditions.
It's indoor. You can create ice and cold inside. It's a new technology we've
Very,
had for a
very new
couple years
technology.
now. Uh huh. Uh huh.
That reminds me of there's a small town in Texas. I don't remember what it's called, but a whole bunch of patents get like I guess sent for approval there or whatever. Like
Okay.
a bunch of businesses incorporate there, and then that's where they file their patents because the patent office or the court there is very zippy with lawsuits about patents and is like very happy to basically just rubber stamp everything.
Because they don't have air conditioning.
No, well, I mean, they probably do, but this is like
Oh.
I'm getting to why it relates. It is Samsung wanted to curry favor with the people in the town because if there was going to be a lawsuit there, they wanted people on their side. So they in Texas built an outdoor ice skating ring.
What? Samsung should lose every lawsuit for the rest of all time for doing that. What the heck?
They
Kidding me?
yeah, they threw away so much money cooling ice outdoors in the middle of Texas.
Like Japan's just not
Sa-
cognizant of the idea that
Samsung
some
is Korean.
places. Samsung is Korean.
Yeah.
Korea's not cognizant of there are some places in the world where it's never really cold enough to have an outdoor ice rink.
I mean, it worked.
Oh,
Like,
they were successful with it?
yeah, turns out when you throw enough air conditionings at a thing, it can work.
I guess. That must have cost like $1 jillion to run. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, they should still probably lose every lawsuit they ever bring forth because that's really stupid. I don't know. Do people like it? Did it work? They were like, thanks, Samsung. We love ice skating.
Yes, I don't really remember. I don't. I don't remember when this was. I can
That's
look it up for you if you want.
We'll roll with it. Right. So yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's funny because the Utah. That's also they have not named the Utah hockey team. They call it the Utah Hockey Club, which
Okay.
I don't know why we couldn't come to a conclusion on this, but it's really stupid.
Yeah.
So that annoys me. But then they won 4 straight games, and then they looked pretty bad the last 2 games, and they're like, okay, they're this is what we expected out of this team. They're gonna suck. They're gonna have to kind of try to sign some new players in the draft and make some trades, and maybe they'll get better. But for now, they're not really contending for anything. So that's the Utah hockey experience. I don't really care about it.
You're not gonna continue to follow it and see what happens.
I'm barely following it as it is. If I'm on Twitter and someone's like, they won, I'm like, hooray, they won.
What if you
That's
can get
about
a?
it.
What if you can get a free double cheeseburger or something for Macca's if they win a game?
Well, Macca's will push notify me of that if that ever happens.
Oh, they'll
'Cause
do
they are
that,
doing it
okay.
with jazz games right now. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So this article that Aki put into the chat is about the ice skating thing.
I did see that article and I scrolled to the bottom hoping for a verdict on whatever lawsuit they were trying to curry favor with, and I think it said that it didn't work. Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Good. Good for you, small town in Texas. That is somehow outsizedly important when it comes to U.S. patent law.
Yeah. Marshall, Texas. That's the one.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So yeah, that's going on. I'll be streaming Brood War, probably some StarCraft 2,
Oh.
maybe some other stuff.
Some other stuff. What other stuff? Or
I don't
is
know,
that
maybe like
is that a vague hoping and you don't have anything planned yet?
no, maybe some Warcraft 3. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think I did that out on Twitch. We did the remaster out on Twitch, or I did the remaster out on Twitch.
You did the remaster. I think I played a game with you though, because we
Oh,
got it when it launched, and
2v2.
and it was awful, and I didn't know how to play because I'd never played it. So
But I mean, we got our patooties kicked.
That's true.
amazing.
that is true.
Like we were like, okay, we were showing up with this army of pretty good, and then it was like a maxed out army of like tier 3 units for their team, and we were like, oh, how? We never bothered to figure it out, and we never played again. So, I mean, I don't know. I do wonder, like StarCraft, right? Like you've played StarCraft, you generally know how it works. I guess is that just like somebody showing up with Ultralisks at 8 minutes, and you're just like, ah, crap.
I guess, yeah, that's kind of what it was like.
Yeah, it's hard to know how much you suck. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it was literally my first time ever playing that, so I was pretty confident that I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. But even I have a general sense of Warcraft 3 and how it works and stuff, and even I was like, well, I got nothing that can compete with this on any level.
Right.
Even if it was a 1v1. So, anyway, whatever. Warcraft 3. Campaign, not ladder, that's for sure. Blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, I say. But yeah, the legend Nick T came through on the stream today with like a $300 super chat. So, yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
I know, right? He's done that a few other times in my streaming career, so.
You should get his name on a plaque behind you.
I know I should. Like
Yeah.
just big neon letters like Nick
Yeah,
P.
you could get one of those whiteboards with neon colors that all like the OnlyFans streamers get, and like write all their sub names and stuff.
The who? What now? Are you
Yeah,
familiar with OnlyFans streamers now, Samacron? Do we have to talk about something?
sure. There's a bunch of people on Twitch who openly have links to their OnlyFans, and like they write all their names on the on a board behind them. Yeah,
So they're like part-time gamer, part-time OnlyFans. Same camera, same computer, both times.
assumedly, yeah. It's like, why
Yeah,
not? Computers are multi-purpose these days.
they sure are. That's really so some OnlyFans people do like totally safe for work Twitch streams where they're like, I'm playing Valorant now.
Yeah, I keep seeing one in my recommended channels after I spotted them, and she's always there, just playing Diablo. I'm like, cool, good for you,
That's
lady.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turns out even
Huh.
people, other people who have other proclivities than maybe you wouldn't partake in, will also enjoy a video game from here to there.
Well, I mean, and there's enjoying video games and there's trying to make money off of video games. I
True.
just assumed if you're OnlyFans, you probably made more money per hour OnlyFansing than you do playing Valorant, but
I would
maybe
assume so,
not.
yeah.
Maybe you kick butt playing Valorant. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or if it's just a matter of I'm just sick of having my tits out, I just want to sit down and play some video games, and I'll be on Twitch. Might as well do that. Then I get that. Like,
You,
that's fine.
winter is coming. They're gonna be like, I don't want to have my tits out. It's cold.
Indoor heating hasn't been invented yet. We only have indoor cooling.
Look. Indoor heating exists, but it costs money, right? You gotta be money smart people. Yeah, I mean, anyone can grow tits. That's well said, Aki. Let's pin that in the chat. Get that on a shirt. Uh,
All right. Cool. Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Warhammer? Is there something else we need to cover here?
Is this?
StarCraft 2 is still not doing anything.
No, there's a new weekly tournament called Stagger Monday, $400. Open tournament, as far as I'm aware. It's an America's region kind of tournament. So if I think you'll be playing on NA servers.
Yeah. Like
Um,
Stegosaurus?
yeah, STEGO Monday, Stagger Monday.
Google's like, do you mean Stego Industries LLC?
I have a link to I believe today's.
I got it.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the chat. Um,
Series. The Stego Monday series.
yeah, like there's Shin's playing it, Australia,
Nice.
Honmona, Maples. These are kind of like lower tier people.
Gerald.
Neuro, Pig. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yep. Pig is currently 10th NAGM.
Nicely done, Pig.
Yep.
Kick ass.
Actually, there was something. I think. Beyond's in this. Cool.
What?
Yeah, Beyond. It's the very top of the bracket at the moment. Seems unfair against everyone else.
Absolutely.
But hey,
Beyond here. Get Beyond out of here.
$400.
The rest
is
of it, I'm
$400.
like, this looks pretty good. I'm saying.
What about Shin? You don't think Shin could take a game or two of Beyond?
No, I don't. I really don't.
You don't think Australia could do it? No NA
Yes,
fan?
Australia could do it.
You think Australia's better
I
than
think Australia's
Shin?
better than absolutely.
You think
I
Australia's
have-
better than Ragnarok?
I can't. Wait, what?
Shin is Ragnarok.
Yeah. I cannot remember a single game I have watched or cast from Shinra. I'm like, Shin, you did it. You took a map off someone I didn't think you could. You know who's done that? Australia. Australia has taken maps off
When?
of people that I'm like, holy shit, Australia.
Mm,
In
when?
GSL. I'm just saying,
here's-
maybe Shin has taken maps off people like Beyond before. I just haven't seen it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Australia hasn't played GSL in like 6 years.
Right. He's done it. I'm just saying he's done it. When Shin was Ragnarok, I have never cast a game with Ragnarok and been like, yo, Ragnarok. I'm always like, Ragnarok, I am disappointed. You have some things to work on today.
Okay, sure.
Always.
He took a game off Max Pax recently. A game off.
Shin did?
Yeah, Shin took a game off Beyond. He took a map off Clem 2 weeks
Like
ago.
how recent? Okay, so maybe I'm just not up to date. Maybe Shin is leveled up here. Because I
I,
am talking, like, I haven't cast or watched a Shin game in like 2 months or 3. So
that's
if he's
fair.
doing stuff now, that's great.
I mean, he still lost 2-1 to Clem,
No, no,
right?
no. Yeah, I'm not saying he needs to win a series against Clem.
uh, yeah, but it wasn't like Wardy's Monday $50 tournament, or he got $50 for it. Like, I don't think Clem was necessarily
Yeah.
playing too prepared. I took a game off Rogue, took a game off Hero, Nightmare, Trap. 3-0 to Dark. Well, he didn't 3-0 Dark. Dark 3-0'd him.
Mm. Yeah,
Spirit
took a map
2-1'd
off
him.
Hero last month.
Yeah. The beginning of last month, he 3-2'd Beyond.
Must scroll back further. Oh yeah, took 3 games off of Hero back in 2023.
He 3-0'd 3-point. I think that's impressive.
All right, fine. I've updated my opinions on Shin.
Okay.
I still don't think he's gonna win a series against someone better than him, but that's okay. But yeah, he can definitely take maps off folks. He took a map off Cyril. That's a ZVZ. That doesn't count.
I mean, it definitely counts at some point, right? Like, you wouldn't
Mm.
really bet any money for me to take a map off Cyril, would you?
No, but I'm gonna be honest. Well, how good do you have to be before I'm not surprised you won 1 map against Cyril in a series,
Do you
in a
think
ZVZ series,
do you think Pig could take a map off Cyril? Top 10 GM.
right? Honestly, kind of a little bit.
Oh, I feel
I just
I
I
smell
just
a show
disrespect
match coming.
ZVZ so
Oh,
much.
I know you do. Oh, I smell a show match in the works.
You should ask Pig what he thinks.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I was gonna talk to him in his chat, but he'll say words back at me, and I have him muted. So
He will. Do it later.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do it later. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's StarCraft done. There's not a whole lot
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Warhammer then.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, just real quick on StarCraft 2. I got talking to JLC about some old, like 2012 StarCraft 2 stuff. So I found some VODs from GOM TV on YouTube that they uploaded like 11 years ago, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you start out with the 5 or 6 workers. It's like, we're talking about, God, who's the player that it's Life versus, is it MC? No, he was Protoss. God, who's the Terran that he was playing against?
Boxer.
History.
MMA.
MVP.
MVP.
MVP. Yeah. So MVP is like killing it, right? He's won 2 premier tournaments already. StarCraft is really new, fairly new at this point. And it's like, yeah, we're 5.5 minutes in, and he's got 2 Marines, and he's ready for Lings. And I'm like, oh boy, this was a lot slower. I had forgotten how slow it was. And infestors are tossing out little infested Terran eggs. I'm like, I forgot they came in eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And mech is so popular, and MVP's like got these blue flame hellions and tanks, and Life is over there throwing eggs at them, and the eggs apparently take tons of damage from blue flame hellions and tanks because they're all dying. And I'm like, why are you doing that? But that was just, yeah, so different. The sound balance is horrendous. Artosis and Tasteless are like, you can barely hear them over the sound of like the other announcers in the crowd and stuff. It's amazing.
It's
It's
a different
very
time.
funny stuff.
It's different
Yeah,
time.
totally a different time. Yeah, here, I'll put a link to it in chat if anybody wants to go back to the olden days.
Every now and then I go back and I watch Total Biscuit. He had a StarCraft tournament, not his like monthly one that he did within Control. It was I can't remember what it was called. I can look it up. But it's basically the first tournament I ever watched, and I think it was for like Legacy of the Void beta. And like
Nice.
medevacs are picking up tanks. Tankovac, that was a good time.
We talked about this. It lasted way longer than I thought it did. It was like over a year of Tankovac, and I was like, oh man, I forgot how terrible that really was. Because it's bad enough if it was like 3 months. That's horrendous.
Yeah.
for such a thing that everybody hates, but it was over a year that it existed.
Yep.
Crazy. All right.
Uh,
The Warhammers.
yeah. I'm just trying to find the name of this tournament. It's gonna bug me.
Okay.
It wasn't Shoutcraft Kings.
Nope.
The Sandisk Shoutcraft Invitational is what I think it was.
Ah, that's pretty darn generic. Holy cow.
It is, yes, the Invitational Tour. That gives it evergreenness.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Warhammer. We read a book. What did we
read a book.
read?
As usual, we read the Hidden Blade, Hidden Buried Dagger. That's what it is.
You want to talk about the Assassin's Creed, buddy? Do you need to get something off your chest with the hidden blades?
I got the general concept behind it. Anyway, it was good. So let me tell you my experience. I
Okay.
totally forgot who wrote it, and I'm reading along, and I'm like, I am really enjoying this. And if I'm gonna finish a book on like Wednesday of the week we got it, I'm like, I really like this book.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't have to I need to pace myself on this, right? Some books I'm like, all right, I read my 30 minutes today. We're good. We'll pick it up tomorrow.
Yep, I know that feeling.
Uh-huh. But I was like, oh, I'm just chewing through this thing and chewing through it. And I'm like, at the end, I was like, okay, let me guess who the author was. And I go, well, my favorite author is James Swallow. And then I get to the end, and it's like, afterward by James,
James
Swallow. And I'm
Swallow.
like, James Swallow. Did it again. I love this guy.
Yeah.
Like, he makes Primarchs relatable and, like, human.
Likeable.
It's incredible. Yeah. James
Yeah.
Swallow.
Yep, James Swallow is really good. He only has, looking at it, 4 books in the entirety, 5 in the Horus Heresy.
The whole Heresy.
Yep.
That's nuts. They should have used him more.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of short stories. So that's like if you want, if we go back and read some of the anthologies, he'll have like 1 in each.
Nice.
He did all the Garrow short stories, and the one that got turned into a big book. That was him. He did Nemesis, which is the one about all of the assassins trying to kill Horus.
Right, which I really enjoyed.
And Flight of the Eisenstein, where he introduced Garrow, who takes a prominent role in this. It is interesting, this book, that it has an A story and a B story that never meet. You know,
That's weird.
most stories
Yeah.
have 2 things that go like that, and like they meet in the climax. Nothing. And
They're
like,
just individual stories the whole way through.
yeah.
That's
They
interesting.
they definitely have parallels between them, but they never meet.
I guess you're not required to do that.
No, you're absolutely not.
Yeah. So a lot of this book is Mortarion and what he's up to these days, and his origin story as a baby Primarch on Barbarous.
Yep. And his
Is
best
this the
friend
first time we
Calus.
get these details?
Yeah, yeah.
Dang, they waited forever to get to him. This
Yeah.
is like the end. Yeah.
Yep. For the record, the Horus Heresy started over 20 years ago, like the book series. This book came out in 2019. They waited 15 years into their series to give you the background information on where Mortarion grew up as a little baby Primarch.
Yeah. Because they love dropping little hints. They're like the toxic fumes of Barbarous and blah, blah, and this is why we can handle toxins and poisons and stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Which turns out not true.
I mean, mostly true.
Oh, I don't think it is.
I mean, he drinks poison for fun. Like, it's mostly true.
Yeah, but like he couldn't handle the higher elevations. He couldn't handle the higher concentrations of poisons.
That's true, but I mean, we're getting like right into like the very end of the book. But like,
We are.
we know that Kalos Typhus was like, hey, they do magic bullshit to like prevent themselves from dying up there. We should do
Right.
magic bullshit as well. And Mortarion's like, no,
Right.
but like that means up there is all magic bullshit.
Yeah,
It's not natural immunity because it's not natural gas.
right.
So anything natural,
The
he's
claim
fine.
is that Mortarion and his buddies
Well, his
can
buddies
handle
just
any toxins.
his buddies are just people. It's not fair.
Well, not his buddies. Sorry, by buddies I mean his legion, like
Oh,
the Death Guard.
at that point.
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah.
kind of confusing because when he's on Barbarous, he's like he names his army the Death Guard, but they're
Mm-hmm.
all just people at that point, right? They're not
Mm-hmm.
actually space marines.
Right.
So when he
They
tries to
haven't
go
been
and kill his
uplifted yet.
stepdad, that's all just humans wearing crude power armor.
I know. Okay, so once they're uplifted and once they're turned into Space Marines, can they handle the intense concentrations of toxins at the highest level of Barbarous?
Given that Mortarion couldn't, probably not.
Right. Probably not.
But
But like that's their whole thing. Their whole thing is like there's no poison that can kill us, no toxin that can bring us down. We're awesome. It's the
but
whole thing. No disease that can fell us. Like that's their entire personality.
what I will say to that is they didn't have power armor and now they do, so maybe they could because Mortarion does go into the disease ward to try and like mercy kill one of his guys, and his armor is fine, and that thing had literally every disease apparently.
So it's not we have the best filtration systems on our power armor.
You know, I look.
That's not nearly as cool.
Look, it's just marketing. They have to sell themselves somehow, and claiming it's
I
personal
know.
endurance. Yeah, no.
But every time the Death Guard have shown up in a book previously in the Horus Heresy, they always talk about how it's like, oh, we're on this death planet, but we're totally fine. It would kill every other legion, but we're awesome. And I'm like, that is pretty nice. It's useful. But they're never like, it's because the filtration power of our armor is sweet. And no one else has it. It's like, that's less cool for sure.
It could be that Noggle has marked them for decades and is protecting them.
I mean,
That's the much
I'm
more
down.
likely option, right?
No kidding. Yeah, Nurgle is patient. They're all patient.
Noggle is giving. He's such a generous guy.
Hilariously. Yeah. So that's my big question from the Mortarion story. It's like they spend his entire life being like, we are offering you this power, Mortarion. You don't even know you're a Primarch, but you're a Primarch, and here it is. And he's like, no, fuck off. And then he becomes a Primarch, and they're like, here is this power, Mortarion. Please take it freely. We are offering it to you. And he goes, no, fuck off. And then finally, Nurgle's like, I've infected your entire legion. All of your sons are gonna die. Either you accept my fucking gift, or
Not only
you
will-
suffer for eternity. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll take the stupid gift.
He does it for his
Why?
sons. He does it for
I
his sons,
know.
like all
So
the
just
others.
do that in day one. Why did we have to spend centuries offering him the gift and him rejecting it every time? Why was it so important that he had to accept it freely if at the end he didn't have to accept it freely, really?
So
That's all.
the thing is accepting it. It doesn't matter if they twist your arm first, right?
Then twist the arm earlier. Every time. They're very much like, it's your choice, Martarian. There are no negative consequences for not doing this.
right.
And then finally, like, there are negative consequences for not doing this.
Well, Chaos couldn't just be like, "Hey, by the way, you should know a ton about us." Like they're trying to work subtly. They're trying to
But why?
because they don't want to tip their hand too soon. If like you have a tiny little warp outbreak and everyone in the Imperium, all the legions go, "Oh, that's fucked." I guess thank God we were protected by our I hate Kitty.
Our filtration system.
By our filtration system, by our, imperial disbelief or whatever bullshit. It's a lot less impactful when he's been slowly saturated for 200 years and then sees his best brother that he always looked up to totally fall to it and go, hey, maybe there's a point.
But he knew. Typhus, whichever one,
Yeah.
on Barbarous offers it, is like, what's up? This is rad. We should do this.
Uh-huh.
Way forever years ago.
Uh-huh.
Mortarion, when he shows up centuries
So,
later and is like, "Here's the gift." He's like, "Yeah, I know. We've been over
okay,
this."
okay, okay. So, what Typhus was offering on Barbarous when they were little itty bitty babies
Mm.
was let's start a cult, right? Let's start working this out, right? Let's learn from the Overlord's big book of bad demons, right?
Let's dive headfirst into this magic bullshit. Yeah,
Right. That's not the same as sell your soul to save your sons as you watch them all slowly decompose.
correct. It's not.
It's not. The like I just think while the outcomes is yeah, Mortarion probably falls to Nurgle in both examples, the
Hmm.
way in which a person approaches those two things are radically different.
Yeah, and
And
what
I
I'm
think I
saying
think that's
is
fair.
right.
Because
I'm
it
just
wasn't Nurgle being like, I need to twist him into joining me. It was just Kalos being like, let's study magic, right? If Mortarion had said yes, and then the Emperor came along, they would have just had a librarius department like every other legion. It wouldn't have been like a strictly a gateway into evil. It probably would have been tainted from the start, given the source that they learned from. But
uh
that's a slow building taint. It still took Kalos the entirety of the Great Crusade and the majority of the Horus Heresy, except for 2 days before they get to Terra, to really like bind with a demon. It doesn't. It's not clear, but
right.
like Nurgle wasn't there offering gifts at the time. It was Callus offering, "Let's study some magic."
Well, sure, but I don't know. You don't think they? I don't know. I'm just saying, it just annoys me, is all. That Mortarion spent forever being like, magic sucks. I'm not doing this. He joins chaos. He joins the heresy just because he's pissed off at his dad,
Pretty much,
not because he cares about any of this magic stuff that's going on.
not
Just
particularly.
like Perturabo that way, right? And then is still like still, even
He
after all his brothers are like, "This is awesome." He's like,
he's
"No, I don't
he's
think it is."
he starts to dabble. He's got a chained up demon host in the bottom of his
He
ship.
does start learning about it, and
Uh
he
huh.
is talking to a demon from time to time. So
Uh huh.
yes, he's taking some steps. But when he's offered the power, he says no. That's all.
Right, because at that time he still thinks he can like figure out a way to control it. Because like when he makes the deal with the
Yeah.
demon, like Grulgor or
Hmm.
whatever his name was, he's like, I bind you to me. You hang
Right.
out here until I need you.
Right.
He still like thinks he can control it.
And then he
And
tries to use him to kill Typhus, and
Rivers,
he's
and he's
like,
like,
"Nope."
plot twist. That was really funny.
It was really funny. Humans are funny sometimes.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I think a common thing that they do is they make all the Primarchs basically hypocrites in the way that like normal people are, where it's like,
Fair.
no, I don't want magic bullshit. No, I don't want magic bullshit. Okay, I'll be magic bullshit. But for Mortarion, it's actually I can endure anything. I like my legion can endure anything, and then they get into the like they get stuck into the warp, right? Like they can't
Right.
leave. And then he can't endure it. The moment he sees all of his sons dying, he gives in. It's
Yeah.
it's he can't endure that emotionally.
Right.
Yep,
Because
that's the hypocrisy there. Is that he's not actually as enduring as he thinks he is.
sure, but that makes him human as hell.
It
Like, not
does.
everybody can be a psychopath like Fulgrim, who's just like, or freaking Kurz, who's just like, I have sons, or fuck those guys.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
the utter discrepancy between how those Primarchs treat their legion compared to what Mortarion did for his sons here is nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you remember back to when we read Dark Imperium, where Mortarion comes back in 40k and he's like trying to kill Ultramar and Gulliman's there and all of that. Um, there's some like paragraphs in there, a couple pages where it hints at whether or not Typhus had actually really tricked Mortarion into this position and whether or not Mortarion knew what was coming and how deep he was into Nogglite understanding beforehand.
Interesting.
And so, because a lot of people kind of take umbrage at the idea that Mortarion could be tricked so easily. Like, Typhus shows up and is like, you should come to my ship. And then, oh, no, I swear, the navigators are plotting, so kill them all right now. And, like, everyone just does it.
Yeah, but none of that matters. Like, there's with the moment of truth where Mortarion's like, I choose to give in and accept this to save my sons is not trickery. That's extremely straightforward. So, like, I don't care how he got there. I don't care if he was tricked to fall into the tiger pit. Like, once he was in the tiger pit, he made a very clear choice to do this thing, you know?
Yeah, that's the interesting point there.
Yeah.
But some people will see it as more of Typhus should have become like a demon prince instead.
He doesn't become a demon prince? What is he?
No, he's the mortal herald of Nurgle. That's his like title.
Mortal. Give me a break.
I know,
Guy's
right?
around forever. He's in the 40Ks. We've met him.
Sure, but time is meaningless in the warp, right? Like that could be 2 days later from this point.
Ooh,
It's
I
not
don't like that very much.
It's not, but
Timey-wimey garbage. Yeah.
right. He is the host to the Destroyer virus, which
Right.
is every disease ever. So I guess canonically he has a bunch of STDs.
And it doesn't kill him. So again, what part of him is mortal exactly?
Well, it's Mr. Burns syndrome, where he has everything, and they all can't get through the door.
Also, if you're Typhus, are you a little pissed off? You're like, I've been devotedly serving you, Nurgle, for centuries.
Millennia, yeah.
And my best friend is like, no. And then at the very end, you have to strong arm him into becoming your guy, and he gets to be the demon prince. Come on. I'm just saying, I'd be mad about it if I was him.
I would probably be mad, yeah, because there are definitely other people who have gotten to become a demon prince, who I think have done canonically way less than what Typhus has.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, the Chaos Gods like their pawns in certain places, and Mortarion is the Master of the Legion, not Typhus, so he gets...
Yeah, and he's a Primarch.
And
So
he's a Primarch.
More awesome and kick-ass.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I get it. And I mean, you're dealing with chaos. So, like, expecting any kind of, like, understandable fair treatment
Right.
from them is just stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So he got something. Enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that reveal was kind of interesting. Where, like, this kid that Mortarion runs into when he makes his decision to, like, rebel against his adopted dad. Like, just happens to be, like, totally steeped in the warp from the beginning.
Very
Didn't really
nearly.
see that coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think the most interesting reveal there is that Typhus is only half human, and he's half whatever the overlords are. Like,
Which
they
they
keep...
never get into.
They
Yeah.
never really get into. They say that they might be descended from humans. So they might just be like a mutated offshoot of humanity, but like they never get into specifics. They never specifically say that they are or aren't human.
Right.
But Typhus is half Xenos.
Right. And visibly so in a way that the regular humans are like, half-breed, we hate you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he could be, what's up, kitty? So he could be, I mean, yeah. So you have regular, boring, boilerplate human, and then you have Primarch, then you have Space Marine, and then you have like half Xenos, which is somewhere in there, above boilerplate human but below Primarch, right?
Right. And there's another
Probably.
half Xenos in this book as well. Well, Malcador's
Oh.
assistant.
Isn't he straight Xenos? I thought he was just like
Well,
Eldari.
he mixes him with like part human stuff, doesn't he?
Oh.
Like that's what he says. Is
I
he?
was unclear about what he's doing with this poor guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So okay, Malcador has an assistant who is he's repeatedly cloning him, and has mixed his DNA from an Eldari that's dying and something more akin to human is I think the line.
Because
Because Eldari's are really smart, and he needs someone to talk to on his level.
it's the funniest thing. Oh my gosh. He keeps this homunculus Eldari human hybrid thing, dumps all of his guilt on him, all of his negative feelings, all of his ideas, all of his knowledge, to the point that this poor Eldari whatever kills itself a lot, over and
Repeatedly.
over again,
Yep.
and is brought back through Melkador bullshit magic, and doesn't
So
remember anything.
he keeps cloning himself. Not cloning himself. He's cloning this guy, but a clone of a clone of a clone. It just keeps degrading. So this poor guy's psyche keeps breaking down faster and faster, and killing himself in a matter of days. Now is what it's down to.
Yeah, yeah.
You stink, kitty.
It just keeps getting worse. And I mean that's pretty typical in cloning stories, right? The more you clone the thing, the worse it is over time.
Right.
Um but yeah, one of the Grey Knights is just like sent to retrieve him.
Well, okay,
And
so
the dude yeets himself off a cliff and he's like, "Oh." And he shows up later and he's like, "I
and
feel like I watched you die."
and Malcador's like, don't say anything.
There was
Right.
some funny in this book for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's some alien influence going on in here.
Yeah. So okay, of all the stories we get, Mortarion and Typhus growing up on Barbarous. We get them stuck in the warp, and then the Grey Knight stories is mostly Garrow being like, let's do some errands for Malcador and then go see Euphrates Keeler. Like, he's secretly religious now, guys.
Right.
Right. So I guess that's where we're at with him. He's secretly religious, and because of that,
But
Malcador knows and doesn't let him become a Grey Knight proper. He's just
Right.
like, I release you from your bonds. You know, he's very almost like Grimo Wormtongue and Theoden.
kinda, yeah. Well, and what's funny is he's secretly religious, but any psyker with any ability gets within 3 feet of him and is like, "Oh,
Yeah, everyone
you
knows.
worship the God Emperor." It's like Malcador's known forever, like the entire time.
You could not keep
Right.
it from him if you tried.
Right. But yeah, back to Mortarion. Oh, like I put him in the same box as Angron at this point. Like, dude had no chance. Just in the sense that, are your cats okay?
Yeah, they're jumping around behind my monitor.
Oh.
And, like, it's a mess of cables there, so I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. So if like you disappear on me, we'll know what happened.
Yeah. He
Okay.
likes to sleep on top of my monitor now that I've... Not my monitor, my tower. For instance, that's him there. And, like,
okay.
I am 99% sure he's going to put his paw on the power switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, my cat's done that for sure. Really
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah.
So, that's cool.
Not cool, actually, at all. So,
Yep.
bad kitty.
Bad
Don't turn
kitty.
off the computer. Yeah.
But he's okay at the moment. When he starts chewing
Okay.
on stuff, I'll kick him out. And the other one smells
Anyway.
like he shat on his foot, so I need to go bath him after this.
Entirely possible.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Mortarion and Angron, right?
Yeah.
I just put them in the same box of like they just didn't. They had no chance. Like where they landed, what picked them up, how many years they spent being abused physically, emotionally, and mentally. Like it's not. I mean, obviously, Angron has physical nails in his brain
Right.
and spine. Mortarion doesn't have that, but he does have, I don't know, emotional nails, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't trust anybody. There's this great parallel of him remembering pledging allegiance to the Emperor and then swearing fealty to Nurgle. And both times, it's just like he can't quite fully bring himself to like do it.
Right.
It's just who he is. It's just how he was raised, and the book's very clear that yeah, he's justified in feeling that way based on how his adopted father treated him.
Do you think the Emperor really like? Because obviously the Emperor's a giant cycler. He turns up on Barbarous, starts giving out food and protection. Like he kills a bunch of golems for them.
Yeah,
He's handing out food and medicine, and then the first thing he does is like, "Hey, Mortarion, how about a test to see if you're worthy to like run this planet?" But that's all his stepfather did as well, is give him a bunch of tests. And there's no
right,
way he didn't know that, just like a cursory reading of his mind and like his history.
right,
And it's like the emperor's a dick. He's been slowly losing his humanity. We know this.
right. But what's
Did
his
he
motivation for doing that?
does he see it as a pain point that he can manipulate very easily? And it's like, "Oh, I know he'll respond to this, but he'll also uphold it if he loses." Or is he
But
just
Mortarion is honorable enough to accept the
right?
outcome.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
even when we know he failed, when the emperor knows he fails, he knows he'll still get a Primarch general out of it.
yeah.
Um, but
Because
or
that's
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I
Well,
was
because
gonna
that's yeah.
go.
I was gonna say it's just a great moment when he fails the test of like actually taking down his stepdad or his adoptive father,
Right.
and then the emperor shows up and saves him, and he's like, "Okay, I
He's
hate you for this, man.
right.
You saved me. I cannot handle that."
I mean, I would look. I need to look up the order in which the Primarchs were found,
Uh huh.
because he teleports Angron out of a situation where he'd die. He
Right.
teleports to Mortarion.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm wondering which came first.
Hmm. I don't. I mean, is that a
Yes,
somebody written that down?
that is a known thing.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Date of discovery. So it was Horus, and then Lehman, then Ferris, then Fulgrim, then Vulcan, then Rogel, then Rebute, then Magnus, then Sanguinius, the Lion, Perturabo, Mortarion before Angron. So
Okay.
he does this. Mortarion, then Lorgar, then Jagatai, then Conrad, and then Angron. I wonder if finding Conrad really pushed his limits of like how much psycho bullshit he could put up with.
Yeah.
And that's why he changed his mind about how to deal with these. Because I'm looking at the dates, and he found Mortarion a full 40 years before Angron.
It's a long time. I mean, not in the lifespan of a
No,
perpetual, but yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I guess my other question would be was Mortarion savable, right? Or had his upbringing and his, attempt to conquer the planet and overthrow whatever his stepdad is, his adoptive father is, did that just crush him and turn him into what he is today and there was just no coming back from it, right?
Did the Emperor's unwanted intervention, I'm like, we can frame it as the Emperor's unwanted intervention, but really it's Mortarion's pride in not being able to do it himself, that he needed help. His idea of self preservation and self endurance wouldn't allow him to accept help from someone outside.
Right. Right.
Is just a flaw that buried deep enough into his heart that like it was gonna come out one day sooner or later.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't know, just reading the book, there's nothing in Mortarion's character that feels like he can change. Like he is what he is. He's, he's proud. He's strong. He really believes in the unconquerable nature of himself and his people and his legion. He doesn't trust authority under any circumstances.
No,
Anybody. Like, yeah, he's signed on for the Heresy, but he doesn't see Horus as his leader. He
no.
doesn't see him as his war master by any stretch.
Yeah, and he even gets like upset when Horus is like, it happens in Slave to Darkness, but like Malagos has to give him like, "Hey, we need you to start moving on Terror," and he's like, "Well, if Horus wants that, he can come tell me himself."
Right.
He demands to be treated as an equal. He does not. He will not accept a Horus that sits above him.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so he demands Horus come meet with him personally. And even if Horus does it, there's a pretty good chance Mortarion is still like, no.
Well, I don't know. Mortarion does do basically everything else when Horus asks. He's like, "Hey,
Mm,
Mortarion, I need you to go to Moloch with me," and he's like, "Yep, sure."
fair
So
enough.
it's possible that as long as the pretense that Horus treats him like an equal, as like a respected ally, then yeah, maybe he will just fall in line.
Could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, pretty tragic character. Like some of the Primarchs who, fall into chaos, I'm just like, nah, fuck that guy. But Mortarion
Full
and
grip.
Ingron both, I'm just like, bad times. Bad times for you dudes.
Oh yeah.
Like you're still incredibly dangerous and like should probably be put down. But man,
Well, that's
I get it.
that's the problem. They can't now.
Right.
Yeah.
Too late for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to come hang out, kitty? No, you want to sit on the floor. Okay. There's a bed like right there that he could lay on. He's like, no, I want to lay down next to the wheels of your chair so when you move back an inch, you roll over me. I'm like, come on.
Yes.
Come on.
I do like that move a lot. Cats are dumb.
Oh.
Anywho, yeah. So I mean, that's basically this book is. Hey, did you want to learn about the Death Guard? Did you want to learn about Mortarion?
Do you want to learn about the
you go.
Death Guard? Do you want to learn about Plague Marines? And
Yeah.
do you want to learn about how the Grey Knights went to Titan and weren't a part for the Siege of Terror? Like, why they're in 40k and not in this?
Yeah, we had to answer that question real quick too. Right. Yeah. So there's a bunch of Grey Knight stuff, which fine.
It's fine. It is there to just like answer a question in the lore, which is like, where did they come from? And was Garviel Loken one of them? Because like, how much do I spoil? Well, you already thought Loken was dead when at Istvan, so I guess it's not a huge issue to say that like in 40k, it was a big question of whether or not he became a Grey Knight or was dead.
Ah.
And well, we know he didn't become a Grey Knight. So
Right. Well, I mean, kind of did for a while. For a
well,
minute.
he became a knight errant, right?
Yes. Yes.
But he did not officially become a Grey Knight. The coin which Malcador gives him with his new name Sirius, which are all named after the titans of like ancient Greek myth,
He rejects it.
he rejects it. And apparently he was supposed to become the first Grand Master of the Grey Knights and was just like, no. Oh,
Right.
someone's home. Who is it? Who's coming in? Come on. Come say hello.
I forgot you were filming today.
It's fine. Yeah.
Right. So, what's the significance of the new names?
It's
Why is it such a big deal?
names are important in demonology, right? Like if you know a demon's true name, if a demon knows your name, it can hold power. The Grey Knights are new. They kind of propose there's like a new legion here, but they're just a chapter. Whether or not they are like conform to the codex in terms of numbers is I don't know. But I think it's very important to them to present as having no history and like giving up their names. Like they had already given up everything about their legion except for like a totem here. Rubio just had his sword, and they like even stripped them of that. And
Right.
there's a really, really good Grey Knight book that we can read where they start off with a character who's like a young boy, doesn't know how old he is, and they slowly strip him of everything, like of his identity. And it's like the first couple chapters are him waking up in a cell that he can only feel, he can't see, they've blinded him, and they're asking them who he is, and he's like swearing to like, this is my name. They're like, what day is it? And he's like, I don't know. And it just like repeats for like 100 days. And then
Awesome.
he finally cracks and like cracks or figures it out or both. And he goes, I'll be whoever you want me to be. Right?
Right.
It's a really good opening to the book. I highly recommend we read that at some point. But yeah, it's just Grey Knights need to be I don't know, not nulls in terms of personality, but they can't let demons get a claw in anywhere. And
Yeah.
stripping
so
themselves of
hiding-
selves is the first step. Yeah.
Hiding your true name is just protecting it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Alrighty.
Yeah, and this book has a couple times where it's like, hey, Malkador's here, or is he? The Emperor's here, or is he? Does it matter? They play with that a
really.
bunch.
Not really.
Yeah. Right.
Like you can be reasonably confident that the Emperor was not there, but he was talking to them.
Right.
Yeah, which I mean, I do enjoy Malkador being like, I can appear to be anywhere I want, cause fuck you, and
Right.
his servant that he keeps cloning notices that this apparition of Malkador doesn't have bloodstains on him and doesn't cast a shadow, and it's like, oh, you can work it out if you look hard enough, or if he's like busy,
Right.
focused on other things.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, good. Thumbs up.
It's a good book. Highly
James Swallow's good at this.
James Swallow is really good at this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is okay? I'm thinking about what it is we're reading next,
Okay.
and according to the flowchart, there's only one option if we keep moving down.
Okie doke. Here we go.
But I want to read something else first.
Okay.
And I just need to find that. And I just don't know where to look to start finding it. I suppose I could search for this character's name. What's his name? Sigismund. So, do you remember Sigismund? He was in a James Swallow book. He was in Flight of the Eisenstein. Do you remember?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. So he is captain of the... I don't know if they're called the Black Templar in this, but they're a kind of monastic part of Rogel Dawn's Legion.
Okay.
So he's pretty prominent in the next couple books, like a lot, and I just don't know if we're like, if you've read his backstory and the things. Like I can just tell it to you if you don't want to read this.
No, I'm fine with it. I can read it.
It's a anthology, and I have no idea which one it is. Is the problem?
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been great if we were like marking off which ones we've read.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have done that. Silent War, maybe. I'm not gonna be able to tell just from the names of the title. Ooh. Look, I'll figure it out, and we'll read it in our own time. But I don't know. We can just skip it now. When I figure it out, we can you can just read it, or I can tell you now. It's your choice. It's good, but it is a short story. It's not huge. It's just a little thing. The important bit.
Well, just give me the important bit. That's fine.
The important bit is he talks to Euphrates Keeler. So on the Flight of the Eisenstein, they come across Dawn. Sigismund's there when Dawn finds out that Horus is turned traitor. He talks to Euphrates Keeler, who then becomes the Saint. And so Sigismund has a tiny little bit of faith in him. He's one of the religious Space Marines. And he tells Dawn, which Dawn does not take well.
Right.
And
Dorn.
and he basically commands him never to speak of this outside of like the two of them ever again, and he's never to call Dawn his father again. Like he absolutely disowns him, but he's still like the first company captain, so he's kind of important. Has to keep him around. He can't like dismiss him or send him away for any reason. Like, so that's why he's still around. He's an incredible swordsman, but he's religious. That's the important bits. And Dawn does not like that and has kind of disowned him. That's it.
Okay,
That's the important
it.
bit. But
I mean,
it's a like if I can work out which anthology it is a couple of good really conversations between them, I think. But beyond that, we are going to be reading The Solar War by John French. That is the start of the Siege of Terra.
okay.
And a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, come on, slide across. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books, I think, that all run directly in a line. There's no branching options. It's just those 12.
Okay, makes sense. That's some cool cover art.
Yeah, it is.
Doran's like, here we go.
It's him upon the walls. Yeah, so, Aki is keeping us abreast of this Stagger Monday tournament. Shin is currently versing Pig in a ZVZ, I assume, as Pig is a Zerg, but I don't know
Nice.
that for certain.
Right, because Pig does whatever.
Pig does random. ZVZ apparently. If he can't take a map off Shin, I don't think he's making a map off Cyril.
Okay, it's a good test.
It's a good test.
I like it.
All right,
Okay, got the book.
got the
Good to
book.
go.
Oh, finally, we're at a point where I already own all these books.
Hooray, we did it. Took us a minute.
Yep.
Okay, rad.
Rad.
All right, I think that's it then.
I think that's it.
Cool. Well, that's going to be it from us today. This has been Falcon Paladin and Somicron with another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. We're streamed live at twitch.tv/Somicron every Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you are on the international date line. You can support us by buying merch at falconpaladin.store or by going to patreon.com/Somicron and pledging there. And yeah, if you want to read along with us, you know what book we're reading next. And yeah, so you can post comments on YouTube at youtube.com/@Somicron. That's where the VODs go. And until a week from now, take care of yourselves and thanks for watching. Goodbye.
See you next time.